When I was a little girl, my grandmother told me stories of sacred mountains, holy lakes, giant cypress trees, and the deities that lived in them. On my recent trek along the epic Druk Path trail, I felt closer to those stories, those memories. Those tales that took me to a land far away, to a land of fantasy. Come with me as I take this journey. About a month ago, Bhutan Mountain Holiday, one of the most successful travel agents in Bhutan, contacted me to do a video on the famous 4-day Druk Path trail between Paro and Thimphu. I said yes, and here I am. Druk Path is known to be Bhutan's finest trekking trails, connecting Thimphu and Paro. The trail follows an ancient trading route across scenic mountaintops, alpine rhododendrons, hemlock forests, and beautiful high-altitude lakes. Within just a few hours, we arrive at a scenic treeless mountaintop that slowly make way to the magnificent view of the ancient Jelazong. So we made it to a campsite right below Jelazong, and this is my camp for the night. Isn't that cute? Jela Samtin Chokor or Jelazong was built by Lam Drukpa Kille's brother, Lam Gaung Chogel, in the early 16th century. So if you're passing by Jelazong, do make a stop. Inside the main temple, you'll see the most magnificent statue of Buddha Shakyamuni. Good morning everyone. This is our first morning at the campsite, day 2 of the Druk Path trek, and this is really exciting. I really want to give you a breakfast tour. Okay, so we've got potato wedges, watermelon, eggs and bacon, toast, butter, jam, honey, everything. Can you believe it? They've actually managed to set everything up at around 3,290 meters. The second day of the Druk Path trek starts with mild climbs as we find ourselves underneath giant pine and hemlock trees. Our camp last night was close to Jelazong, right here, and we've made all the way, climbing up and down to this point on the way to the second camp. We cross several ridges and slowly the panoramic views of Paro Valley fade away as we make a higher climb towards our second camp, Tsokam. So we are here at Tsokam. Our campsite is right down there, and this is the campsite for day 2 for Druk Path trek. This place is called Tsokam because there's a dry lake right over there, and one thing I'm really looking forward to seeing are the yak herd right over there. Can you hear the bells? are on day 3 of the Druk Path trail, and day 3 is considered to be one of the most strenuous treks ever because we have to do a lot of climbing. As you can see, the ridges right in front of us and all the way over there, so there's a lot of climbing up. So yeah, wish us luck. And then suddenly, I saw it. If you see a large lake in the mountains, my grandmother said, do not make loud noises. Don't litter. Don't desecrate the place, or you'll disturb the loo in the lake. And one thing I remember her telling me was that you do not want to invite the wrath of the deity. Remembering these stories from my Angge made me realize the relationship Bhutanese people have with nature and our environment. We were taught that mountains are sacred, lakes have tsomin, swimming in its deepest depths, and giant cypress trees are abodes of powerful deities. Desecrating nature meant defying holy natural spaces. After walking for almost 3 hours in the heavy fog and the falling hail, we finally made it to our last camp, Janitsho. Our camera-shy chef Aurinche saved the best meal for the last night at camp. Pizza at 3,800 meters and a full-size cake that he cooked in a pressure cooker. Well, we are towards the end of our Druk Path trail. This is our last camp and the last dinner that we are having at the camp, and I don't know, I'm feeling quite emotional about it as well. I really want to thank my guide Tula for really taking good care of us, my team as well. As a guide and as a very important player in the tourism industry, what kind of vision do you have for Bhutanese tourism?
The first thing I want, like the Tourism Council of Bhutan, if they can help us and if they can educate the people in terms of waste management. This is becoming a very big challenge in our country. It's a very big concern, you know, like when you go with the tourists, okay, so when they see all kind of trash along the route, okay, so we are also disheartened. Like, that's the biggest challenge that we have in our country.
That's true.
About the trail, you know, like we have many of the ancient trails, but now people started creating all the shortcuts along the trail, and we're just destroying forests and nature, you know. So I just want Tourism Council of Bhutan to work on that one.
Tourism is not just the responsibility of the government or the travel agents or the guides. I think we all need to be responsible as individuals, as citizens of our own country. Thank you so much, Tula, for really taking care of us. Now we'll have dinner together. On our way down towards Pajuding on our last day, we came across more beautiful ridges that was covered with snow. beautiful family of Highlanders bringing their yaks down towards the valley for winter. But amongst all these gorgeous sights, there were also few signs of environmental concern. The Highlanders we met shared that many of the lakes in these areas have now dried up, and also mentioned the sighting of wild boars that is quite rare at this altitude. Across a lot of points where there were either dwindling lake sizes or completely dry lakes, and this is what I find quite tragic. Bhutan is the only country that has committed to becoming carbon negative, and what's sad is Bhutan is also the country that would be the most affected by climate change. Climate change isn't just a social media trending topic. It is a real, hard-pressing issue. As we see a growing urban population, pollution, forest fires, how many of us have really thought about climate change? Climate change for Bhutan is a huge issue. Either we face drying of water sources in the highlands or the danger of bursting glacial lakes. As I saw the colors of the landscape change from the hues of vibrant autumn colors on the mountains to a greyish layer of smog resting above the capital city, I wondered how long it would take for that greyish smoky zone to get bigger and encroach upwards towards the mountains. Whether it's a guide like Tula who believes in protecting trekking trails, or a travel company that believes in practicing sustainable tourism, we all play a major role in ensuring sustainability is not ignored when development policies are put in place. And I say this with all my heart, because I believe that we all need to return to those memories, to those stories that our grandparents told us about majestic mountains, deep forests, and secret lakes. At least once in our life before they are gone forever.
So